Hello, lovelies. For those of you who don't already know, I am currently 8 months pregnant with my second baby, which is why these days, more than ever, keeping things in the kitchen quick and easy could not be more important. And that's why today I'm so excited to be sharing with you this recipe for my honey garlic salmon that is super satisfying and delicious, but comes together in absolutely no time, like seriously, less than 10 minutes on the stove. So the first step in this recipe is going to be mixing up a really simple honey garlic sauce. And I know a lot of people buy their honey garlic sauce pre-mixed at the supermarket, but when you see how simple it is to make yourself, you may never buy that pre-mixed stuff again. Now, of course, to start, we need some honey. It is honey garlic sauce after all. And to that, I'm going to start by adding some tamari. Now, tamari is just gluten-free soy sauce. You're welcome to use regular soy sauce if you want to. I always like to use the reduced sodium version just to keep my salt levels down. But of course, it's totally up to you. You can use what you have on hand. I'm also going to be balancing that out with some rice vinegar. You guys know I'm all about really balanced flavors in the kitchen, so I love adding some rice vinegar to this because it adds a little bit of tanginess to that sweet honey and that savory tamari. I'm also going to add a good helping of garlic to this. I've got 2 cloves headed in here. You could go as far as 3 and I would not judge. And my final step is adding just a touch of heat with some red pepper flakes. The red pepper flakes are optional. If you want to skip the heat, of course, go ahead and do so. But like I said, balance is what we're after here. So you have a little bit of sweet, a little bit of savory, a little bit of tang, and a little bit of heat. All in all, a lot to love. I'm just going to use my whisk to mix this all together, and as soon as it's combined, I'll just set it aside while I get to work on cooking up my salmon. Now, I should mention I'm using salmon in this recipe because I found these absolutely gorgeous salmon fillets at my supermarket at half price, but this sauce will totally work with everything from shrimp to chicken to pork. It's really, really versatile, so whatever protein you have on hand, you can totally use. I'm going to season them very lightly with a little salt and pepper. You don't need too much seasoning because of course we have a ton of great flavor in our honey garlic sauce. You don't need to overdo it. And then I'm going to heat some oil in a nice big skillet over medium-high heat. It's really important when you are frying fish that you grease your pan liberally because you don't want your fish to stick. And we're going to actually be cooking these top side down first, and then we'll be flipping them over. So we want to make sure we don't run the risk of our beautiful salmon sticking to our pan. Like I said, I'm gonna get them top side down. Hopefully there's enough room for all 3. These are big guys. I'm going to let that salmon cook away for say 3 to 4 minutes, or just until it's nice and golden on the underside and it releases really easily from the pan. That is an important sign that your salmon is ready to be flipped. If you try to flip it before it releases easily from the pan, there's a good chance you're going to shred your salmon, and that is not what you're going for. I also always recommend using a fish spatula for this job because it makes flipping your salmon just that much easier. Just as soon as your salmon is flipped, you can reduce your heat to medium-low. You don't want your heat to be too high when your sauce hits the pan because of course that honey and that garlic will want to burn. And then you can just go ahead and get it straight into the pan. You'll notice it starts to bubble right away. This is a really good sign. And while the underside of your salmon is cooking, that sauce is going to start to thicken up and become really syrupy and soupy. After about 3 to 4 minutes or so, your salmon should be fully cooked, and you can use a spoon to spoon that nice syrupy sauce over top. You want to get nice coverage while the salmon finishes cooking. Also, you should smell my kitchen right now. It is seriously delicious smelling in here. Now, of course, there's so many great ways to serve salmon like this. I like to do it simply with some cooked rice and some steamed veggies, but this salmon also works really well when flaked over a nice salad. I also really enjoy this as a meal prep recipe, so if you wanted to cook this up during your Sunday meal prep, you could enjoy it for 2 to 3 days for lunch. It's really, really great made ahead of time. I hope you guys will give this recipe a try for yourselves, and if you do, don't forget to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because I always love seeing your kitchen creations. This recipe, like all of our recipes, is featured on healthymealplans.com, our amazing meal planning site that allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then automatically generates your grocery list for the week. If you haven't checked it out yet, I really hope you will. It's sure to make your life in the kitchen much, much easier. Finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.